The Logitech MX Master 4 is one of those devices that doesn't just raise the bar, it kind of is the bar. It's built for power users, creatives, and anyone who wants a mouse that can actually keep up with them. Now, before we get too far for this review, I was using the Mac version, but don't click off yet. There is also a PC version, and here's the twist. They're basically the exact same mouse. The only real differences are that the Mac version doesn't come with a Logibolt USB receiver. It connects via Bluetooth only, and it comes in its own unique colors that match a Mac setup. That's literally it. And even weirder, they're completely cross-compatible, meaning you can use the Mac version on a PC and the PC version on a Mac. So if you can find one version cheaper than the other, you know what to do. Anyway, let's get back to what you're here for, why I think this is the productivity mouse you need. I won't spoil the secret just yet. Stick with me for the next few minutes and you'll find out. Welcome to the Tech Shed. So, and this is the biggest problem with this mouse, the price. It's certainly not cheap, coming in at around 120 US dollars. That's big time mouse money. Mickey Mouse money, some would say. Here's some other prices from around the world to give you an idea on what you might expect to pay. Now, to be fair, it's not just a Bluetooth mouse with a fancy logo. It's built specifically for productivity. And in regards to competition, I actually think it's priced quite nicely. The closest competitor is probably its predecessor, the MX Master 3S, which costs 100 US dollars. But you also have similar-ish options like the $69 low-free touch wireless PBT mouse, the $50 Keychron M6, or the $200 SwiftPoint Z2. There might also be some other weird and wonderful options out there that I haven't heard of. So this, with all its fancy features, which I'll go into shortly, isn't too badly priced in the grand scheme of things. It just feels like quite a lot for a mouse. At first glance, it looks a lot like the 3S, the same right-handed design, the same sculpted shape, the same thumb rest that makes it unmistakably an MX. This is good. I like this. It's extremely comfortable, especially if you use a palm grip, your hand just settles into it naturally. If you're a fingertip or claw grip user, you'll most likely find it chunky, and I'd say it will take a while to get used to, but it's not really what this mouse is built for. It's designed to support your whole hand. It weighs almost 150 grams, which makes it heavier than your average mouse, but that weight gives it stability. It's not designed to flick around, it's designed to give you precise, controlled movements in apps like Photoshop, DaVinci Resolve, or Final Cut Pro. The solid feel helps when you're working slowly and carefully, which is exactly what you want. Logitech has improved the materials. It uses an anti-stain coating that keeps it looking clean for longer, and the quiet click switches feel fantastic, soft, responsive, and more silent than a Tesla at a red light. The version I tested had the white silver color scheme, and it looks nice enough, nothing too crazy, but it also comes in graphite, pale gray, and black, with this one and the black limited to the Mac version. If you've ever used an MX Master before, this one's going to feel instantly familiar, but sharper, like someone took the old design and ironed out all those tiny little wrinkles. The left and right clicks are soft and, as mentioned, really quiet, and they sit either side of the returning mag speed scroll wheel, which is still one of the best in the game. It automatically switches between a tactile, notchy scroll, you know, when you scroll and it has that sort of like bumpy feel, and a smooth free spin depending on how fast you roll it. If you want to go slowly through a web page, notch scroll. If you want to get straight to the bottom to leave a comment on this video, free spin that thing and you're there. There's also a button behind the wheel to control the mode switching manually, which is a very nice touch. Then there's the side setup, and this is where things get a bit more interesting. You've got a horizontal scroll wheel where you can use things like vertical scrolling, turning brightness up or down, and zooming in and out. By the way, these are all customizable in the Logi Options Plus app. I'll go into that a little bit later. There's also 3 thumb buttons, which again, you can bind to pretty much anything you want. And then the most interesting new feature, the Actions Ring button. This sits right where your thumb would naturally rest. Hit that and voila! A radial menu appears around your cursor like some productivity superpower. Now, you can fill this menu with shortcuts, app controls, or even quick access options to AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini. It's totally customizable. You can even personalize what the icons look like, and better yet, it also adapts to the app you're using. So in Photoshop, you might map controls like brush size or layer toggles, and then switch over to DaVinci Resolve where it controls your timeline. You can even download user-made configurations for third-party apps. Now, I'll be honest, I was skeptical about the Actions Ring at first, but it's genuinely excellent. It does take a while to get used to, but give it a few days and it completely rewires how you work. You'll go back to a normal mouse and it will feel like switching from fiber to dial-up. So let's talk about the big new feature everyone's curious about, the haptic feedback. What's it actually for? Well, it's not there just to buzz for the sake of it. It acts as a kind of tactile confirmation system, in my opinion. Basically, the mouse gives you tiny controlled vibrations to let you feel what's happening on screen, almost like it's talking to you, just through your hand. Say you're snapping an image perfectly into place in Photoshop or triggering a shortcut in the actions ring, you'll feel a soft, subtle tick under your fingers. It's not dramatic or distracting, it's more like a gentle tap that tells your brain, yep, that worked. It adds this weirdly satisfying sense of precision. You're not just clicking and hoping, you're getting feedback you can actually feel. And after a few hours, it starts to feel natural, and when you go back to a normal mouse, you will notice how empty it feels without that physical response. However, let's not get too carried away. It's essentially just the mouse vibrating. It's not necessary, it's just a nice little feature. As mentioned, everything runs through Logi Options Plus, Logitech software for customization. It's clean, intuitive, and lets you adjust pretty much everything like haptic strength. You can create actions ring layouts, set up gestures, and use flow, which lets you move your cursor between multiple devices and even drag files between them. I found it really easy, although I did run into a few hiccups getting the actions ring to work with some apps, but I got there in the end, and if I can, I'm pretty sure you can. Note, it does require Mac OS 13 or Windows 10 and up for full support, but once it's set, it's pretty seamless. Under the hood, it uses Logitech's 8000 dpi dark field sensor, which tracks flawlessly on pretty much any surface. It reads microscopic detail instead of relying on texture or light, which means smooth, precise tracking whether you're on wood, metal, or, I don't know, glass. Perfect. Battery life is still close to an impressive 70 days, but it now uses a larger 650 mAh battery to handle the new haptic motor and upgraded Bluetooth chip. It charges via USB-C, and a quick 1-minute top-up gives you hours of use. The Mac version relies solely on Bluetooth, while the PC version adds the Logibolt USB receiver for people who prefer a dongle connection. Honestly, I used it entirely over Bluetooth and had zero issues, no lag, no dropouts. So where does that leave us? Well, if the question was whether this is the productivity mouse you need, the answer is pretty clear. The MX Master 4 doesn't just look the part, it feels like a proper tool for serious work. Logitech has taken everything that worked about the 3S and made it smarter, smoother, and more tactile. The haptic feedback makes inputs feel deliberate, the actions ring genuinely boosts workflow speed, and the comfort is still unmatched. You're not just getting a mouse, you're getting something that actually enhances how you work. For anyone spending long hours editing, creating, or multitasking across screens, this isn't a luxury, it's a legitimate upgrade. It's the productivity mouse you need, plain and simple. Thanks for watching. If you liked the review, hit that like button. If you didn't, let me know why in the comments. And if you loved it, hit subscribe for more. This is The Tech Shed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Probably not, based on the stats I'm getting. Come on, guys.